So in jazz, the 2-5-1 is one of the most important progressions and one of the first that you should master if you want to be a fluent improviser. So in today's video, I'm going to show you a 2-5-1 workout that takes you in all 5 positions and all 12 keys that you can work on today. First, I'll show you these 5 2-5-1s to work on. And then second, we're going to apply them over a couple of standard jazz tunes. And then third, I'm gonna show you some advanced techniques to really make these your own. And if you stick around to the end, I'll tell you how you can get the full 15-page PDF for this exercise so that you can practice it every day. All right, so the first thing I wanna do is run through these 5 shapes for the 2-5-1 lines and show you the details that we're gonna be working on. So connect all of these lines to the chord shapes that I'm showing you. So the first one we're looking at is this one for D minor. And the 2-5-1 line that we're playing sounds like this. What I want you to notice here is that for all of the dominant chords, in this case we'll demonstrate over G7, we're going to be using this same kind of diminished arpeggio. In this case, playing it like a pivot arpeggio, which really just means that we're jumping from the interval of a sixth. So from this A flat, up to that F. And so when we play this line, we have that arpeggio, right? B minor 7 flat 5, and then jumping up to the resolve on the E for the C major. And the two things that we're really shedding here in this case is making sure we can descend through the 2 chord, the minor chord, and then do we have the arpeggios for our dominant chord. And then when we go up to the next position, D minor, landing on the 3rd of G7 again, right? There's that A flat pivot arpeggio. Again, landing on the 3rd of C major. The third one. So F jumping down to A flat, B and D, right? So that gives us this kind of diminished shape. But instead of playing it all consecutively, like A flat, B, D, F, we split up the notes. So we have F, then A flat, and then walk it back up. Again, resolving on E. The fourth one with this D minor shape. A flat up to F, resolving on E. And then lastly, we have this one. Resolving on that E. So again, at the end of the video, I'm going to show you how we can get some different resolutions as well as some different rhythms for this. But I just want to show you those lines in that format. Check out the PDF to really shed them in all keys. Now let's see how they would apply over some standards so you can actually get to practicing this and put this in some actual songs that you want to play. The first tune we're going to look at is this song Tune Up. And this is a great one for 2-5-1 exercises because the song is really just composed of multiple 2-5-1s in different keys. So it literally is perfect for what we're about to do. And for this exercise, what we're going to do is take one of the shapes, in this case shape 1, and keep moving it as the key changes for our 2-5-1. So the purpose of this practice is that we really work on a single one of these 2-5-1 shapes applied to different keys. So let's hear what it sounds like over Tune Up. And there's one little detail in here that I'll make sure to explain after I play it. See if you catch it. Okay, did you catch that little part that was different? So on the first time through this form, we have what's almost a full 2/5 to D, E minor, A7, D, but instead we get a resolution to B flat. So it goes E minor 7, F7 to B flat major. So the way we modify that, we start off our 2 chord the same, and then when we get to the F7, we just transition to that chord, which would be starting on the A. So A, C, E flat, G, a pivot there to land on the 3rd of B flat. So it's actually a combination of 2 different 2/5-1s. So again, the main purpose here is we're practicing that shape, starting on each of these 2 chords. Now let's take a look at applying the same 2/5, but in multiple positions in a different key. And for this, we'll take the example of Autumn Leaves. One thing I want to point out here, we have a 2/5 to B flat, so C minor, F7 to B flat, and it goes to E flat major. And then we have a 2/5 to G minor, right? So the A half diminished, a minor 2/5, D7, G minor. I won't get into the theory, but basically we can use the same 2/5 for C minor, F7, B flat as we can for that minor 2/5. If you want the theory of this, I'll link one of the videos where I talk about minor 2/5s right here, and you can check that out. But basically we're going to use all 2/5s to the key of B flat, and we're just going to do it in all of the positions as Autumn Leaves plays. So let's listen to that. Okay, so for some of them, we played it in both positions, and some of them towards the end, we only got to do it once each, but you get the point. This is one way we can apply it. And then when there weren't 2/5s, so like that E flat major, I just leave it as rest and get prepared to implement the next 2/5-1 line that I want to practice. And so that is what I would recommend as far as working through these. Let's talk really quickly about some more advanced techniques we can do to really make these our own. And I'll focus on these 2. We'll do it in one position, although it applies to any of the positions. The first one is a change we can do with the rhythm. So let's take a look at this. We're doing these right now all as 8th note lines, right? And what we can do is hold one of these notes and then add in a triplet so that the feel is not always exactly 8th note lines. It makes it feel a little bit more natural when we're playing these. And sometimes you get stuck on a note and then need to catch up. And that will be when you hold the note and use the triplet. So this is great for actual real world use. So the way that that would sound with that same example. So you notice how I'm holding that B, and then I do a sweep with my right hand with a triplet. So instead of, it's, and again, that works for all of these different ones. Wherever you have a note you want to hold and then do a triplet. I like doing it over the arpeggio section or wherever the sweep makes sense, right? So even if we're doing this D minor 1, I did it in 2 spots there. I did it at the beginning, right there, instead of, or here, holding the same one, the B. Doesn't have to be a sweep. You get the point. So that's the first way you can really modify these, and that's a great one. I use that one all the time. And the second one is changing our resolution points. So right now we're landing on the third, which is a great spot to end for a lot of these 2-5-1 lines. It really captures the sound of that major chord, but maybe you don't want to end there always. So what can we do? So depending on which 2-5-1 line you're using, we have a few different methods to land on different resolution points. So let's take one right here. This is this second shape. And so instead of ending on the third, let's end on the fifth. With the remaining notes, I'm going to enclose that fifth instead of. So now when I get to that point, I can really decide based on what I'm hearing. Do I go to the third or do I go to the fifth? Or there's a lot of different options. There's a different one, combining both. So we can do that with all of these different shapes as well, combining the rhythm and the different resolution points to really have some freedom within these 2-5-1 line exercises. One last thing I really should point out is that in this lesson, all of the lines started with a descending arpeggio for the minor 7 chord. But you don't always want to start with a descending line. Sometimes you'll want to start with an ascending line on the 2 chord and a descending line for the dominant chord, and that is just the other half of what we just did. So if you want to check that out, this video right here shows you exactly how to do that in the same format, all 12 keys in all 5 positions. So you can just click here to watch it now, and be sure to subscribe to my channel so you don't miss any videos. If you want to get the PDF, you can check the link in the description below and join Chase's Guitar Academy for the etudes for these standards, as well as the full 15-page PDF for this 2-5-1 workout. We're so close to 100 members, and I'm hoping one of you guys will take us over the edge. So I will see you there.